Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Did you really understand what just happened in Dune Part 2? Was Paul Atreides the hero we were led to believe, or a terrifying harbinger of galactic destruction? And what about Chani's choice? Was it defiance or desperation? If you're still reeling from the epic scale and devastating conclusion of Denis Villeneuve's masterpiece, then buckle up, because we're diving deep into the sands of Arrakis like never before. Before we get lost in the spice and the sandstorms, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We break down the biggest blockbusters, and you won't want to miss our next deep dive. Alright, so Dune Part 2 picks up right where we left off, with the utter devastation of House Atreides. Princess Irulan, daughter of the Padishah Emperor Shaddam IV, is our initial narrator, and through her journal entries, we get a chilling glimpse into the machinations behind the fall. Her father, the Emperor, betrayed House Atreides, allowing the Harkonnens, led by the monstrous Baron Vladimir Harkonnen A, to launch a brutal, unprovoked attack. It's a devastating opening that immediately sets the stage for a tale of revenge, survival, and the crushing weight of imperial politics. The Atreides, thought to be wiped out, are actually scattered, and our focus shifts to Paul and his pregnant mother, Lady Jessica, seeking refuge with the Fremen, the indigenous people of Arrakis. They're led to Siege Tab by Stilgar, a Fremen leader who sees in them the fulfillment of prophecy, a messianic figure from the outer world destined to bring prosperity to their harsh planet. But not all Fremen are convinced. Suspicion lingers, and the reality of survival on Arrakis is stark. When Harkonnen soldiers, armed with superior technology, hunt the Fremen, they are met with a force far more potent, the Fremen's intimate knowledge of the desert and their fierce warrior spirit. These encounters are brutal, yet also highlight the Fremen's resourcefulness as they extract precious water from their fallen enemies, leaving the bodies to the planet's colossal sandworms. Meanwhile, in Arrakisine, the Harkonnen stronghold, Baron Harkonnen and his nephew Rabban are determined to crush the Fremen resistance and secure absolute control of the spice. They see the Fremen not as people, but as an infestation to be eradicated. Stilgar, however, champions Paul and Jessica, even pledging his own life to Paul. He argues with the Fremen Council, insisting on their protection, and his conviction eventually sways them.
Paul understands that if he can unite the Fremen, he can disrupt the spice flow, the very lifeblood of the Imperium, and thereby force the Emperor to confront him. This is where Paul's strategic mind begins to truly shine. Now, the weight of prophecy falls heavily on Lady Jessica. Stilgar tasks her with a terrifying trial, to succeed the dying Reverend Mother of Siege Tabr by drinking the water of life. This sacred liquid is inherently fatal to men and untrained women, but Jessica, a Bene Gesserit, possesses unique abilities. The sheer volume of water collected, a staggering 38 million decaliters, is a testament to the Fremen's reverence and their hopes for a messianic savior. Stilgar believes Jessica is the mother of this Lisan al-Gaib, the voice of the outer world. The northern Fremen tribes, however, are more pragmatic, viewing the prophecy as a southern tradition, a subtle foreshadowing of the deep divisions that will emerge. Jessica, drawing on her Bene Gesserit training, transmutes the water of life, surviving the ordeal and inheriting the memories of countless past Reverend Mothers. This awakening is so profound that it prematurely rouses her unborn daughter, Alia, allowing Jessica to communicate with her. The Fremen are awestruck by this miracle, convinced of Jessica's divine connection, especially after the ritual and Romulus' death during it seems to confirm it. But Chani and her friend Shishakali, sharp and observant, see the truth. The prophecy is a Bene Gesserit fabrication, a tool for manipulation. Yet Chani begins to respect Paul. He declares his intention to fight alongside the Fremen, not to rule them, a crucial distinction that resonates with her. Paul, in turn, confronts the mythologizing around his mother's survival, explaining it as a testament to Bene Gesserit training and handling poisons. The true shock comes when Jessica reveals Alia is speaking to her, urging Paul to become the Kwisatz Haderach, a male capable of accessing both male and female ancestral memories, bridging space and time, by drinking the water of life himself. Paul, however, is initially resistant, his focus laser-sharp on avenging his father and House Atreides. This internal conflict between destiny and desire, between personal vengeance and galactic consequence, is the heart of his journey. The bond between Paul and Chani deepens as Paul immerses himself in Fremen life. He learns their language, becomes a fearsome Fedaykin fighter, masters the art of riding the colossal sandworms, and leads devastating raids on Harkonnen spice operations. Each victory, amplified by Stilgar's pronouncements and Paul's own claims of learning from past masters, solidifies his growing legend. His ride on a particularly immense sandworm becomes an iconic moment, cementing his reputation as the Lisan al-Gaib. He adopts Fremen names, Usul, meaning the strength of a pillar, and Muad'Dib, a creature often associated with resilience and adaptation. Baron Harkonnen, desperate to maintain his grip on spice production and avoid the Emperor's wrath, demands Rabban regain control. The spice raids are crippling his operations, and one particular raid on an Iraqian spice depot destroys 80. Her objective, to unite with the Fremen fundamentalists, who are the most fervent believers in the prophecy. She believes her unborn son holds the key to becoming the Kwisatz Haderach, and that he must be born in the south. Paul, however, remains in the north, deeply troubled by his visions of an apocalyptic holy war that he believes will be unleashed if he embraces the messianic role in the south. He fears becoming the very destruction he foresees. In the arid south, Jessica witnesses the creation of the water of life firsthand. Sandworms are drowned, and from their throats the potent blue liquid is extracted. Jessica, aware of the fatal consequences for males, orders that any man entering the temple be permitted to take the water of life, a chilling display of her growing influence and ruthless pursuit of her goals. During a daring raid on a smuggler spice harvester, Paul has an emotional reunion with Gurney Halleck, his former mentor and a loyal warrior of House Atreides. Gurney, who has been fighting a guerrilla war, reveals the location of House Atreides' hidden atomic warhead stockpile. He believes that with the combined forces of the northern Fedaykin and the thousands of Fremen from the south, Paul can conquer the entire planet. But Paul reiterates his horrifying visions. If he goes south, billions will die across the galaxy. This internal struggle is palpable. The Harkonnen grip tightens. Feyd-Rautha, now in command, unleashes a brutal and devastating attack on the northern Fremen. C.H. Tabor is destroyed, and in a particularly horrific act, Shishakli is personally and cruelly killed by Feyd-Rautha, forcing Paul and the surviving Fremen to flee south for the Fremen War Council. This attack is a turning point, pushing Paul towards the destiny he fears. Upon arriving in the south, Paul makes the fateful decision to drink the water of life. He falls into a coma, a decision that enrages Chani. But Jessica, using her Bene Gesserit abilities, hypnotically compels Chani to save Paul. In a moment of profound despair and love, Chani mixes her tears with the water of life, a gesture that awakens him. The transformation is absolute. Paul now possesses clairvoyance, seeing across space and time. He witnesses a narrow path to victory amidst countless futures, and in one vision, he sees an adult Alia on a water-rich Arrakis. He also learns a shocking truth about his lineage. Jessica is actually the Baron's daughter, placed as Duke Leto's concubine by the Bene Gesserit to ultimately unite House Harkonnen and House Atreides, a chilling testament to their millennia-long breeding plan.
He also discovers Arrakis was once known as Dune. Armed with this newfound cosmic awareness and a terrifying clarity, Paul confronts the Southern Fremen War Council. He behaves with an almost maniacal intensity, galvanizing the crowd by demonstrating his uncanny ability to discern their deepest thoughts. He boldly declares himself the Lisan al-Gaib, the messianic figure, and directly challenges the Emperor, who arrives on Arrakis with Princess Irulan and his elite Sardaukar military force. As the Emperor reprimands the Harkonnens for their incompetence, they were unaware the southern regions were inhabited and had no clue who Muad'Dib truly was. The Fremen launched their offensive. Utilizing atomics and their mastery of the sandworms, they utterly overwhelmed the Sardaukar. Paul, in a climactic act of vengeance, kills Baron Harkonnen and captures the Emperor. Meanwhile, Gurney Halleck leads a separate assault on Arrakeen, intercepting and killing Feyd-Rautha's brother and subordinate, the brutal Beast Robin. Paul then challenges the Emperor for the throne. To Chani's profound dismay and heartbreak, Paul demands to marry Princess Irulan. The other great houses, summoned by the Baron before his death, arrive in orbit, poised to invade Arrakis, but Paul issues a stark ultimatum. He will destroy the spice fields if they dare to intervene. Feyd-Rautha, in a final act of desperation and perhaps madness, volunteers as the Emperor's champion. The ensuing duel between Paul and Feyd-Rautha is brutal, a clash of titans, with Paul ultimately killing his Harkonnen rival. Princess Irulan, faced with her father's surrender and Paul's ruthless demands, agrees to marry Paul, but only on the condition that her father's life is spared. The Emperor reluctantly surrenders his authority, but the great houses, defiant and unwilling to accept Paul's ascendancy, reject his claim. In response, Paul orders the Fremen to unleash their full fury upon the orbiting fleet. As Stilgar leads the Fremen onto the captured Sardaukar ships, preparing for galactic conquest, Jessica and Alia stand together, contemplating the terrifying dawn of Paul's holy war. And then there's Chani. Her gaze is fixed on the horizon, her heart broken and her spirit unbroken. She refuses to bow to Paul, refusing to accept the path he has chosen. In a final, powerful act of individual agency, she mounts a sandworm and departs alone, a solitary figure vanishing into the vastness of Arrakis. Her departure is a poignant, devastating end to her arc, a testament to her love and her unwavering commitment to her own principles, even in the face of galactic upheaval.
The film ends not with triumph, but with the unsettling knowledge that the Kwisatz Haderach, the Messiah, has become the harbinger of a galactic jihad, a holy war that will consume billions. Paul's victory is undeniable, but the cost is immeasurable, leaving us to ponder the true nature of power, prophecy, and the devastating consequences of unchecked ambition. What this means for the future of Dune? Well, that's a story for another time.